Good day, everyone. Today, I would like to present and share some insights about the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, one of the most catastrophic events in history. Before we go through our sharing section, I would like to introduce my group members Muhammad Firas, Lim Tian Yuan, Vimal, Muhammad JAZLAN, and Muhammad TAUFIQ. I'm going to share the contributions of my group members to our project. So, first, me, Lim Tian Yuan, is responsible for introducing group members and handling overview about the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. And next, Jazlan is taking part on important details about Chernobyl nuclear disaster. And the third members is FIRAS, which are working on key safety management failures. So while Vimal is mainly holding on what we have learned from the accident, and Taufik is delivering conclusion. So next, we are going to have our sharing session.
Exploded at the Chernobyl power plant in Ukraine.
Before we going through some important details about this nuclear disaster, I would like to give you all a quick overview about this accident. The Chernobyl nuclear disaster, one of the worst nuclear accidents in history, occurred in 1986 during a safety test on reactor 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Pripyat, Ukraine. A combination of design flaws and operator mistakes caused the reactor's core to overheat, leading to a massive explosion that released large amounts of radioactive material into the atmosphere. The fallout spread across Europe, forcing the evacuation of over 300,000 people and leaving the area uninhabitable for decades. The disaster caused widespread health issues, including cancer and radiation illness, which continue to affect people today.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Jazlan, and I will be explaining about the important details that happened during the Chernobyl accident. The date backs to April 26, 1986. This marks the date for the worst nuclear incident that ever happened in the history of mankind, and still remain to this day. The Chernobyl nuclear reactor, a little background, were constructed on 15th of August 1972 and began its operation in 26th of September 1977 under the USSR government. And then after the incident, it had been decommissioned in 2015. Next, the fatalities in the two power plant workers died immediately. Because they so happened to be at the spot where the initial explosion took place, at which the reactor core center exploded. The second explosion also occurs 2 or 3 seconds later that destroys the entire reactor number 4 buildings. And over 30 people die within weeks due to acute radiation sickness. The people mainly consist of the first responders, that is the firefighters, that was dispatched to put out what they assumed was regular fire, in which case some of them actually mistaken a chunk of highly radioactive graphite for just a normal boulder, and then move them without any sort of protection, causing their skins to burn and blister. Next, the long-term effect include thousands of cancer-related deaths, because high radiation destroys the immunity of the body, leaving them prone to cancer even more.
So for the key safety management failures, we have find three major failures. Firstly is a poor reactor design. Second is lack of training. And third is a slow response in the next slides. So we go through the poor reactor design first. The RBMK reactor flaws. Firstly, positive void coefficient. This increased reactivity with steam bubbles. Secondly, no containment. Radiation could escape in accidents. And lastly, faulty control rods. So the graphite tips raise reactivity briefly. So the second failures, lack of training. Chernobyl workers issue. Firstly, is an inadequate training for emergencies. And secondly, is a limited understanding for reactor risk, and lastly, unprepared during the safety test, worsening the accidents. So for the last failures is a slow response. they have delayed their response. Firstly, the confusion and underestimation of severity. Secondly, the slow containment of efforts due to unrecognized explosion impact. Thirdly, is a delayed communication with other person. And lastly is evacuation and emergency response. So that's the three major safety management failures that have uh, made in this case study.
So let's look at some lessons we learned from these catastrophic failures. So first of all, design safety. The industry system must have a design safety features within the company to prevent fatigue failures. For example, they must have any kind of alarm systems or any other systems to prevent or to alert everyone when the failures or any kind of accidents happen. And the next is the role of communications. For the Chernobyl highlighted the importance of clear communications to improve public awareness and the safety regulations. For example, every workers need to be taught how to handle situations or how to communicate during the fatigue failures happen, and need to be taught the safety regulations during the failures happen. Moreover than that, role of communication during the fatigue failure or any kind of failures happening, the communication between workers to workers are most important, because the communication between the workers are one of the most ideal situation, so that they can act fast and do something to prevent any kind of catastrophic failures. For the other lessons we learn, operation training must be given. Proper training and understanding of safety protocols are necessary for all personnel. These lessons explain us about the operation training during the process is going on. For example, workers are needed to uh, taught or trained to follow up all protocols during the working process or any other process are going on. For other lessons, emergency response. All workers are need to think and act quickly to avoid any catastrophic failures. For example, quick and clear communications during the crisis can reduce damage and protect lives. This lesson is very important during the fatigue failures or any other problems occur during the problem or any other emergency situations. Thank you.
I would like to reflect on a quote by Valery Legasov from the HBO series Chernobyl. He said, "If you can't understand how a stalled nuclear reactor led to an explosion, I don't blame you. After all, you don't work in the control room of a nuclear power plant." But as it turned out, the man who didn't understand it either. So this quote highlights a key factor in the Chernobyl disaster, which means that the lack of training and understanding among the reactor operators, their unawareness of design flaws, and the consequences of their action led to one of history's worst nuclear disasters.
Hi, my name is TAUFIQ, and today I'm going to conclude what it just we presented. The Chernobyl disaster shows how dangerous poor safety management and design flaws can be. It highlights the need for strong engineering designs, proper training for workers, strict safety rules, and good emergency plans. So clearly, communication is also important for gaining public trust and avoiding future accidents. These events reminds us of the importance of focusing on safety to protect people and the environment. As we move forwards, let us take these lessons to heart and strive for a future where innovation and safety go hand in hand, ensuring that these strategies like Chernobyl remain a thing of the past. Together, we hold the power to build a world that prioritizes both progress and responsibilities. As we reflect on this strategy, we must also take a moment to express our deepest appreciation and acknowledgement. The first one is hero sacrifice. We honor the bravery and selflessness of the first responders, workers, and volunteers who risk, and in many cases, sacrifice their lives to contain the disaster. Their actions prevented further devastation and saved countless lives. The second one is scientific innovation. The global efforts of scientists, engineers, and policymakers who collaborated to develop solutions like sarcophagus and the new Safe Confinement, showcasing human intelligence in the face of adversity.